Well, talking about Smite in 2025 was not originally in my bingo card this year. But in a year where it feels like we're on the cusp of Hades aligning the planets to release the Titans anyways, it is what it is. But this journey actually begins with that, because Smite to me has always been a weird comfort game. I'm not bad at the game, but I sure as hell have never touched Baskin Bologna level of skill, so we'll just leave it at that.
Looks like Enyas is still grouping up into the solo lane, where Baskin and Homie is currently level 2, just hitting at level 3.
Okay.
Against 5 level 1s.
So 5 level 1s, there's Berserker Barrage doing a ton of damage against all the targets. So Bludgeon's going to hit 3 people and smash down 1. Well, he's going to get plucked around, and meanwhile everybody else is continuing to farm up as Baskin's getting 4-manned at the moment. But Baskin's still alive, finds the second kill as well. Bludgeon again hitting 3!
Oh my God!
Another 1! Alright,
The game itself has always had this pull because of the deep pool of gods and characters and builds and the system alone that in the right hands can do some crazy, never before seen crazy stuff. The perspective alone really scratches an itch that I can't really explain, but it feels so much more immersive than other MOBAs out there. And at this confusing time in the greater world, there are also 2 very confusing Smite games to get back into, and that alone deserves its own discussion, but, you know, in its own time. Getting back to the plot here. The first kill alone is funny to me. It feels nostalgic to get into the selection screen, go through the picks in a casual match, do all the helpful swapping, to get everybody the role that they were comfortable on, only for someone to be AFK at the pop, which it brought a smile to my face. It reminded me of like, oh, buddy's not back from his bathroom break. Dang. And I respect IBS in gaming. It's fine. It's fine. You gotta go when you gotta go. And getting into the second game goes fine too. And again, as this speed up game footage will probably show, I'm not that good. And my build is kind of legit based off of years old knowledge with a solid enough footing in the game. You can get it done no matter how long it's been. And that's always been the case. And even if I wasn't playing well or decent, I'm too goddamn old, and I get roasted too often by people in public lobbies of other games to let it ruin this game for me. Like, whenever anybody starts talking in game chat, I want to quote the line from that movie. Don't quote me, for I was there when 667 was written.
Yeah, I'm just better than you, bro.
At the end of the day, though, weird hacks and lobbies aside, the game mechanically feels kind of great. It feels like you have the freedom to do crazy wild behavior and weird roles, that the meta is the meta, but honestly, if you want to go buck wild, you can. And I feel that's where Hi-Rez always shined. In lower and mid-tier casual games and most casual lobbies, if you did a little research, you can do some pretty nasty things, cheesy builds, and have a great time, like being a dirty bubble mage in the jungle role. A quick look, and honestly, I did very little research past looking at the Twitch numbers and videos of similar topics, and this game feels like it's twilighting. And no shit, because Smite 2 is in beta, but with the State of Smite 2 being in beta, it still has a lot of weight to carry till she's put out to pasture. And in this game, and in the games I've played after, I've come to the conclusion people are still very much passionate and into this game because the amount of yapping and backseat gaming is outrageous. Which, like I said, I've been around the block before. Trash talk in video games ain't new to me, but as an active gamer about to hit their 30s, I do not remember every game being this level of hostile. And I will admit, I do sometimes engage. Sarcasm is my shield, and tater-tot trolling is my passion. But I think right there is the issue, and let me cook for a second as I get to my point. At this current time, I feel like Smite 1 and 2 still rivals the other games in its category for level of potential of fun you can have in a game. That it's solid when it comes to concept, and if you really sit down and look at the items you're building and what you're doing, you can get away with some pretty nasty and crazy stuff with the Goon Squad backing you up. But the attitude of the community doesn't encourage that. And I think that's commentary for all competitive games. The communities tend to shift so much and sometimes so violently that it can kill a game when controversy or poor development periods come around. And the remnants of what's left are jaded individuals that play the game out of spite or for pure love and passion. But that resentment and need to win personality that swallows games whole is super unwelcoming. And here, I mean, this is not a call out piece for this player specifically, but our Heimdallr clearly states that this Medusa is cheating. We are winning this game. Our mid might not be doing so well, but someone is still yapping in game chat, which is crazy. I've seen Geb speed hack rollouts back in the day and zooming across the map at Mach speed, but I've never seen a Medusa with full CDR and movement speed suck this bad and lose this hard, but aren't somebody still mad that we're winning in these situations? Being mad and winning in these situations should be documented and sent to the scribes, not complained about. And it's not just this game. It's been every game, winnable or not. And I know it started happening in Overwatch as well, because I jumped into that community for a while. People get angry and quit games or complain, and it just ruins games. Because honestly, being called fat and dumb by a Poseidon in the middle lane because he lost lane is unhinged behavior that people are tired of. And by the way, my stat lines in the jungle don't warrant that kind of personal attack. It's a game. When the console's off and the mouse is put down, it's a game, win or lose, feed or not. Which I wasn't feeding, by the way. As a veteran in life and of games in general, it doesn't bother me. I can still get my goofy games in with friends, and I've tried my best over the years to introduce new players to the game of Smite because I can have my fun with it. Every time I get back into this game, and as I jump into Smite 2 now, for the honest first time, I get obsessed with it. And the only thing that each time has driven me away is that weird, unwelcoming attitude in casual play. Guiding new players and playing with your friends shouldn't come with bad attitudes every time, and the mute button legit only goes so far in a game where VGS is standard. But to sum it all up, today Smite to me is still charming and worth a download with your friends. You can get lost in fun comps in all game modes, and with basic lane MOBA knowledge, you can get into the rotations and starts easy. I mean, hell, just looking at the map, it's pretty simple to map out jungle paths with your eyes. For new players, I highly recommend watching something first. Hook up with some Smite websites, Smite Guru, Smite Source. This is not an advertisement. I don't know, Weekend, he might do Smite 1 builds on Smite Source. He might have something. But watch streamers, watch Weekend, watch FineOK, get involved in the mix and find a god that works for you. And for returning players, our current players, and all players of competitive games in general, let me get deep with you right here before I bounce. What keeps your favorite games and game series alive is support. Support money-wise, of course, but from us as well. We owe it to the devs who create these things for us, which, by the way, Smite is a free game, to support as much as we can. And I feel lately we haven't. And right now, that's across the board for gaming in general, but it feels very much true here, too. At the end of the day, the least we can do is support the game by keeping the community alive, active, and welcoming. What that means for you personally, I don't know. I won't tell you how to live your life, but remember, even pros get farmed sometimes, and not every single casual game is the Smite World Championship. But that's all I have to say. So, I'll see you next time.